All right, and we're live. Take it away, Karthik. It's all yours, man.
Awesome. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining in. Let me present my screen. Awesome. So as usual, the cadence is going to be first we'll go through the releases we have made in the last 1 month, and then also go over all the cool things that we are planning to release in September and early October. So let's get started. So we released private integrations for agencies. A quick recap, private integrations is very similar to API keys, but way more powerful because it runs on API v2, which is more feature rich. And it's also way more secure, right? Because you as agency get to define the scope of what a developer gets access to. It's not a complete unrestricted access, but a very restricted access that you can give to, let's say, contacts only, etc. And further, it also has built-in token management features. Tokens are essentially keys, right? So you can schedule and rotate your access tokens or keys, plan it ahead and share it with your developer so that it'll give you a new token as well as keep the existing token active so that you can plan and rotate it on a scheduled basis. In case you get to know that your token has been compromised, you can say rotate and expire now, which means the old token is killed immediately and you get the new token, right? So that's how we recommend that any of you who are currently on API keys on API v1, we strongly urge you to move over to private integrations and work with your developer to get these moved on to API v2 and private integrations. The next one is dual profiles. So the primary objective here is one, better communication for developers to sell to the agencies while educate the sub accounts while maintaining white label friendliness, right? So what this means is the entire app details page where we have all the images, videos, and the app details listed. The developers can now define two separate lists or two separate app details page for agency versus sub account. They can sell to the agency while also kind of communicate, things like, hey, how well it integrates with Go High Level, etc. While they can maintain white label friendliness and educate the users or the sub account users uh, while defining uh, the app details page for the sub accounts, right? So that was the overall objective of helping them sell to the agencies while educate the sub accounts and overall maintain the white table friendliness. So that was the objective of dual profiles. This is also live currently. And the third one was uh, many of in this was a frequent issue where ad blockers would block the redirect, which is the last step of an installation, right? So if the redirect does not happen, the developer doesn't get the access token. So even though it says installed on high level, essentially it's not really installed because the developer doesn't get access to your data, right? So we solved that. So we have built a feature where we detect the ad blocker in the front end, and if we do detect that, we will provide up, we'll throw a pop-up and we will give an explicit button to click on, which will initiate the redirect and hand over the access token to the developer so that the installation is complete, right? This was a very frequently reported problem, and that's now fixed through an easy apparent workaround on the front end. Let me just pause. Any questions so far on the last three features we discussed?
Don't see any in the chat yet. I like
Awesome.
that ad blocker pop-up
I
though.
send
That's
it.
awesome. Oh, we got one. Go ahead. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
But,
Yep.
okay.
Sunday, you can ask your question.
I don't really understand the second feature that you went over. That didn't make sense to me.
This one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just open the app marketplace, right? So there are two app marketplaces, right? There's one for the agency and there's one for the sub account. Are you aware of that, Sunday?
Yes.
Right. So one of the most frequently used distribution type of apps is something called the agency and sub account, where the agency installs the app onto the sub accounts, right? So
Okay.
this is one of the most frequently used distribution types today. What we try to do is, if and what is the problem, right? The developer defines the app details page, right, where they list the images, the details, etc. There was just one set of information that the developer could define, right? So if the agency came to the app marketplace, this is what they would see. And once the app is installed and the sub account heads to the installed apps page, they would also see the same details. But what does the developer want, right? The developer wants to communicate why the app is important so that agency is installed. But to the sub accounts, the app is already installed. So the sub account, what the developer wants is communicate how to use the app, right?
Mm.
For example, hey, provide your API key, right? Things like the communication
It-
is more of education towards geared towards a sub account, right? So it's not really the same thing that the developer wants to speak to the agency and the sub account.
I understand now. So one is to get the agency to download, the other one is the instructions for the usage of the app once it's installed. I got it now. Sorry. Thank you.
Exactly, exactly. So that's what we helped the developers achieve. Cool. All right. So these were the three things we released in the last month. Now let's take a look at all the things that are planned for September and October. The first one is ability to install and load snapshots from the app marketplace, right? So going forward, once we release this feature in September, you'll be able to discover apps with snapshots on the app marketplace. We'll provide filters to filter apps that have snapshots, and you'll be able to view app details along with a preview of the snapshot contents, right? Because snapshots are typically very expensive, we want to make sure that you know what you're buying, right? So whenever an app contains a snapshot, you'll be able to see what that snapshot contains. For example, calendars, custom fields, forms, etc. Right? And then once the app has been installed, you'll be able to load the snapshot onto all your locations with ease, along with any conflict management, etc. So this is how you can use the snapshot. On the other hand, if you also are building snapshots, right, then you can head over to the app marketplace. And we have drastically simplified the entire app creation process for agencies to create snapshot apps, right? You won't need to even bother about all complex things like scopes, redirect URL, etc. It's going to be as simple as head over to your snapshot page, click on share snapshot, get the marketplace share link. And once you get the link, head over to the developer portal where you say, hey, I want to build a snapshot app, right? And then you just paste the link here and save and continue. The rest of the things are very easy, right? List your app details page, configure your pricing, etc., which is very fairly non-technical. And that's it. You can launch your snapshot app on the marketplace and sell it to other agencies. So this is going to be live in September. It's currently dev complete and in testing. Any questions? I see Sunday is raising his hand.
Yes. I think this is exactly what I was just talking to someone I needed yesterday. So I can build a snapshot. I already can build a snapshot, but I can now create an app for that snapshot, sell that to other agencies, and then control the snapshot from the sale. Can I charge recurring fee for the snapshot usage?
Exactly. It's up to you, right? You
And
can
then
charge. Hmm.
And then manage all of that within my agency account?
Correct. When
Beautiful.
you say manage, if you're selling it, you'll be managing it via the developer portal, right? Because
Ah,
now
okay.
you're a developer,
So
right?
effectively what I'm doing is I'll create the snapshot, create the app, and then manage the like if I'm making changes to the snapshot or whatever, I'll do it in my account and then I'll just upload and manage the versions or whatever in the developer marketplace. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. However, in the first iteration that we're releasing in September, you won't have the ability to update it, right?
Okay.
But we are working on that, and the update functionality should be out somewhere probably in November. So
Okay. But this
yeah, for
year.
now, this year, yeah, this year.
Okay.
So for now, between September and November, you will have like whatever the first iteration of Snapshot that you launch, that's the one that will still live. You can't change it. But in November, you'll be able to start pushing updates.
Okay. It's like you're in my head. I just had this conversation yesterday.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that you're excited. Hey, Chris.
Hey, what's up, Karthik? Hey, so if I create a snapshot, I put it on a marketplace, and let's say that I find something I need to change. Since the update feature won't be out for a few months, would I effectively like need to go in and add a new snapshot and delete the old one out of there?
Yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate, but that's true. If you really need to make a change, the only very bad workaround right now is you have to launch a new app altogether and take the old one down.
Okay.
And yeah,
What's
communicate. Yeah.
Yeah, what's the turnaround time from when I like basically publish the snapshot until it shows up for everybody? What's that turnaround time look like?
Yeah. So it goes through a review process.
Yep.
All apps go through a review process, and currently that's around 10 days while we try to do it sooner. The SLA
Got
is 10, but we try our best to do it sooner.
Okay, that's good to know. All right. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Chris. Any other questions?
One last question, because you said this is not for the this is for the person who's not super techie. So you're saying that I've never built an app before, I'll be able to do this.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And that's what striving to, morph our developer portal to make it fairly simple for everybody.
All right.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, one more question. So, regarding the white label ability of a snapshot, should we follow white label best practices or we should? Okay. Okay.
We should, right? Because almost 40% of our agencies are kind of white labeled. So
Yeah.
it's easier. You get access to that entire market and not lose out if you just maintain white label friendliness and just don't refer to go high level anywhere. That's all it takes, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Follow-up question then. So if I'm creating a like I've seen, how you build an app, but a snapshot is a little bit different. Is it suggested that we make like a like a funnel or a small website for the snapshot itself and keep all of the branding and everything white labeled, don't mention GHL or anything. And do we kind of follow the same logic as if we're making an app in regards to a funnel page that has some videos and a more description of what you're getting and that kind of stuff, and like maybe a support page?
Right. So that's what an app details page is for, right? You can use this real estate, all the images, and you can also upload a YouTube video here, right?
Okay.
And details here to communicate whatever you want regarding what the capabilities or the contents of your snapshot are. This is a lot more accessible. It's right here. Rather than, I mean, you may want to kind of build something and give a link to your funnel or page. It's also, but yeah, it's your choice. It's the way you want to sell it.
Okay. I'm just trying to I don't have access to the beta or anything, so I can't get in there and look at it.
I know, right? Like, I'm like, when are you gonna release this? I have a
Hey,
question.
Chris, I would think about it like WordPress, right? Like sometimes they want to click out and see, is this person like credible or authentic? So you could have like a little mini funnel for it, or a
Okay.
support page or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, Andrew. I like that.
I have one last question. I have so for those that go into my account, I obviously have lots of training on how to use the modules and all of that. So if I sell it as a snapshot, will the snapshot be able to include access to the community, or would I just give them access to the community external to once they buy as a part of like some sort of email automation? Does that make sense? My question.
Yeah. So, got it. So I think that's where you can include the link to your, the community page or anywhere where you're, putting all your content. You can include that in the app details page. Uh, Further, if you want to communicate with your customers, you will need to get a little technical, right? Where you can seek the installer's email address, right? And you need to do some bit of coding where you will receive who installed your app, right? And you'll get the email address, and then you can use that to send the email trigger, etc. If you
Got that. Okay, got it. I understand what you're saying. So, all right, I understand. Thank you.
Yeah, if you need help there, you can reach out to me Sunday. I'll drop my email in the chat here. You can just ping me and I can help you with, getting started with.
Thank you.
Hey, Karthik, is there anything in the works right now? Is the team doing anything regarding removing the technical like limitations to that? So being able to collect someone's information that's installing the app and create a contact in your high level or something like that, right? Or in the parent high level, in the maybe the main agency's sub account.
So are you asking, are we trying to kind of make that easier for non-technical people? Like, is that the question?
Right.
Uh,
So like Sunday's question, she wants to know who downloaded the app or installed the app so she can send them an invite to a community or something, right? So instead of having to like set it up through code or get a developer to do anything custom, which, may be the solution now, and it may actually open up a marketplace for that, like reaching out to a developer for that work. Having it built in so that maybe there's a form that they have to fill out or something like that, like a contact form or something.
Got it. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Thanks.
It's not in the works right now, but yeah, we'll try to build that into the developer portal so that you have access to the list of installed users with at least their emails, that you can at least engage with them when you want to. So,
Right.
great feedback. We'll take that back to the board.
I could see a workflow trigger being pretty helpful here
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
cool. I'm just curious right now, like if you have an app on the app marketplace, isn't there a screen you can go see who installed the app?
No, you
No.
can't see
Wow.
who installed the app. It's more of a we send webhook events when I
Oh,
install.
okay. So you gotta have
Technical.
yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
But yeah, you're right. We need to kind of make that easily accessible in the front end as well. That's missing today.
Yeah, because snapshots are not easy. I mean, you can download it, but there's still so much more training most people need once they install it to use it.
Yeah. So for now, Sunday, if you reach out to me on email, I can help you get started with just achieving that, right? Who installed your app?
Perfect. I got your email.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, guys, just real quick. The snapshot is really, so I get my mind around it, to get a quick image, kind of a quick up and running, or is it kind of like a clone scenario?
Snapshots
like a
are
10-minute.
essentially just all of the assets that you want to include. So they can be, funnels, like the whole setup of an account. You kind of just take a picture of how it's set up, and then it can be pushed to a new account to import those assets.
Okay,
So
it's
it
been what it's
shortcuts.
been in
It just shortcuts the time that it takes to set everything up.
No, I get it. I've
Yeah.
been in IT for over 20 years, so it's
Okay.
what it's always been in IT.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a configuration file, like a config file.
Right. You
Kinda.
can move it like you do in virtual machines, so you can get it transported around. All
Yeah.
right. I get
Yep.
it.
Yeah, it's exactly like a virtual machine, right? You take an instance of a sub account or an account, and then you just say, hey, create a snapshot of this account, right? And then the entity is called snapshot, and now you get to push it so that you fast track the onboarding of newer
Oh, I
accounts.
love it. Yeah. Yeah, and so you can build these out, put them in the app store, and make it easier for people or easier for yourself if you need a snapshot. Yeah. So is this in the yeah, okay, it's in the marketplace. I got you. So that's what this is all about. Okay, I'm caught up now.
Cool.
Yeah, so you can snapshots are
is an old, it's an old feature,
Oh,
but
Yep.
into the marketplace is where we're opening it up for.
back in the day, we used to ghost machines, right? They used to ghost them in the client server world. But yeah, okay, I got you.
have you done anything with the SaaS configurator yet, Mike?
No, but it looks like fun. Honestly, I've just really started digging in, but because of my background in IT, all the same principles and concepts are there. It's just how do you do it in this platform? So I'm loving the flexibility, and my mind is just kind of wandering on the
Right.
different ways to really, the things that can be done, and how
Yeah.
automated and easy things can be made. So I'm just trying to understand how it's done here. But I get all the concepts. Yeah, definitely. I know
Yeah,
you're-
the reason I was asking is just because like snapshots make that whole SaaS side of high level. It basically makes that capable. Like you essentially sell it with one click on a website, and then you can upload a snapshot. Don't even have to touch somebody's sub account, and then they're good to go. So now that we're moving them into marketplace, they can be an app that is in somebody's sub account that they can upload a snapshot from, through the marketplace. But they've been around. Snapshots have been around since high level's been
in the
company.
beginning of the first implementation or the early stages. Okay.
Yeah, just to
that's
make it
cool.
easier to move everything over, right?
Yeah. Okay. Makes perfectly good sense to me. All right. Appreciate that insight.
Cool.
Awesome.
What else we
So-
got?
Yeah, so snapshot is the first asset we spoke about that we are including in the app marketplace, right? The next one is funnel widgets, or just widgets as we call it, right? These are things like, your Google reviews and rating, or it might be a timer to some, let's say, flash sale that you're going to launch, or overall some testimonials and some things you want to communicate about how customers love your service. So these are widgets that can be included into a web page or a funnel, right? So you can now package and sell these widgets on the app marketplace so that others who are building funnels can do things. One, discover, right? So we're now bringing the marketplace into the context where users are building funnels, right? So within the funnel builder, there'll be something called custom widgets, where if they search, let's say, Google reviews, right? We will throw up all the widgets that match that particular description, and users will be able to install it and then just drag and drop that widget onto their funnel builder or the web page. So this is in the works as well, and is expected to go live in October. Any
This is
questions?
huge. This is huge. I
Yeah.
love this feature.
And what's great is the discoverability, right? You can now discover these assets where you're building the larger thing. And we're extending this particular logic to workflow action triggers as well. So within the workflow builder, while you're searching for triggers or actions, we will now start making marketplace actions and triggers discoverable there, even the ones that are not even installed, right? So if you search, let's say, random like Facebook, right? Facebook is already there, but let's say ClickUp, right? It will throw up all integrations or all actions and triggers in the marketplace that have ClickUp in their description. So you'll be able to install and drag and drop or include those actions and triggers in your while you're building your workflow. So we're now making marketplace assets discoverable within the context of where users are building them, so that we drive adoption and make it a lot more easier.
So a widget is more than just here, I got a countdown timer, but you mentioned ClickUp, so I can have project management workflow as a widget and import that workflow.
Okay, so there are two different things I spoke about. The first is widgets, right? Widgets are web assets, right? They are part of your web page, which are a little more interactive. Let's say your Instagram feed or Google review or a countdown timer. So these are widgets, web widgets, right? That's one thing, that's one asset. The second is currently in the app marketplace, we already allow developers to sell workflow actions and triggers. So we already have this workflow product, right? You can bring in external custom actions and triggers that developers have built onto this, in addition to what Go High Level already provides. So that was the second aspect I was talking about, where as part of solving the discoverability, right? In addition to bringing this inside the widgets, we are also bringing it to the workflow, right? So I was just talking about the discoverability problem that we're solving, not just for the widgets, but also for the workflows.
That's good. That's good. I didn't even know you can do that type of, I don't know, would you consider that an integration or just a plugin?
Yeah, that's already there today, right? Bringing in custom actions and triggers into your workflows is already there. It's just the discoverability that we're solving for that in Q3.
Discoverability. Gotcha.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, how you doing? On the custom widget search feature, that'll be in the funnel, correct? In the funnel builder?
Exactly. Yeah.
If we have app marketplace turned off, they will not show up in the funnel builder, right?
Not sure.
Okay. I just want to make sure about that.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Respond this momentarily.
Cool. And I just curious, Dan, any reason why you wouldn't want your users to access this?
Yeah, I have no idea who built it. I don't know if it works, and I don't want to support something that might be. I mean, if you guys truly vetted all these things and like we knew you guys, like, you know, Andrew and Ryan were like the app raters and they both gave them, 5.5 stars. Okay, cool. That means they tested it. But, somebody gets in here and they start messing around with this and they call me and they're like, I'm like, I don't know who built this. Like that's, the app marketplace is a cool idea, but at some point in time, maybe it'll all shake out and the people that are allowed to put apps in here are like legit, or, we can find a way. But you guys get what I'm saying. Like, I'm, trying to grow and like acquire customers. I don't need to support things I don't know what they are or how they work. So I like the concept, but right now, if you look at some of the stuff in the app marketplace, there's no support documentation. I don't know who built it. I don't know how to get it. So I have it turned off completely for that reason. It's a matter of, I don't want phone calls and, certain things happening during the day. And then, I like, for a certain app, can I call high level support and get it working? Probably not. They're going to be like, no, you have to call, get a hold of that developer. So for me, it's like, hey, control what I can, prevent certain problems from popping up. Now, if all of a sudden, everybody's like, hey, this custom widget's legit, maybe I'll turn it on and allow like just approved apps to show up. I'm not saying I'd do it forever, but for right now, it's a matter of, I'm still one guy.
Yeah.
VA here and there, but I just don't want that can of worms.
Thanks for
That
making that
concern
point,
has
Dan.
been-
That's
I'm with him too.
It's been very vocal. Like that's been a very common concern in general. So I think the team has been taking in feedback and I think we're moving in a direction where we will be doing a lot more vetting. But I do like that title. If I think me and Ryan will be officially changing our titles to the app raters.
Yeah, the nice
Yeah.
thing is we have plenty of time, so we'll
Well, I
figure it out.
know. I mean, you could be doing it right now.
Yeah.
Like every town hall, you guys have to
Doing it
live
right
rate
now,
an app.
Ryan.
Yeah.
How about that?
Lazy.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
just like Andrew said, we're super aware of this, been received lots of feedback around it, and we're actively working on the review process, etc. More to
Yeah.
come on that for sure.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
great
and
thing
I'll
too,
just give you like
Dan-
one other kind of like use case. It's not the app marketplace,
Mhm.
but I did the same thing here with the ads manager, and I'll give you an idea why. If Andrew is my client and he's in here and the ad doesn't get approved, he can't contact Meta. Okay, because it's all in high level, especially if it's like a child account. He's going to call me, and then I have to get, a support ticket open. Meanwhile, he's like, my ad's not running. I don't know how that would work. I don't know what that process would be. Maybe down the road that process will become real clear. But for right now, it's like, hey, I'll let other people stick their toe in the water.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Yeah. Have you two things really quick, Dan? Have you looked into some of the amazing companies that offer third-party support in high level? Like HO
Yeah,
Pro Tools,
I'm
Extendly,
an
Growthable, those
HO
guys?
Pro Tools user.
Okay.
Okay, and I don't have their client level support. I just I get a lot of my
Gotcha.
support and stuff from there and snapshots.
Okay.
And that's on the table. But I still don't know how they would support the ads manager issue.
So what most of those companies do is they have priority support with us, and what they'll do is they'll field your customer support, then they'll open a ticket with us in priority support, and then they get help directly from us. And then if we have to contact Meta, so there is still like a process that has to be, gone through, but it removes it from your lap, essentially. It puts it in their lap, right?
Well, it puts it in their lap, but I'm still the guy delivering ads manager to my client. And he's
Correct.
still
Yeah,
saying, yo, why is this
There's
taking
still-
so long? And I'm going back saying, I have no idea.
Yeah,
That's
there's still a
just-
very
I don't
valid
like that
reason not to
position.
turn it on if you're in that position. I totally understand.
Yeah.
I just figured it might be a good solution for you.
No,
The
I
second
just brought
thing-
it up as like a parallel with the app
Yes.
marketplace. Like if I am in the position where people have to ask me questions and I literally tend to say, I have no clue.
Right.
And then I have to stop what I'm doing and find out. I'm like, not yet.
Yep.
Again, there's plenty of people testing it. And,
Yep.
I know
Yeah,
you guys are going to start rating these at some point. So
we got a very good strong developer community. One of my very good friends is one of the first official developers in the community. So there's a lot of strong voices and strong opinions and a lot of feedback coming from them. So we're kind of moving in that direction where we're making the marketplace and all these apps way more user friendly. So that you don't have to worry about situations like this one in the near future, I think is where we're going. So
cool.
So let me address some of these points, right?
Mhm.
One, every single widget which is uploaded on the marketplace will go through a review process, right? So we privately install the app, test it, make sure that whatever is claimed in the app is exactly how it works, and only then is it allowed to go live on the marketplace. So that's one thing, right? Second, I understand that you would also want some validation from other users before you do that. So I'm just trying to see how we can make this approval process a lot more easier for you as agencies, right? Would it be a good idea if we built some rule system, right, for you to say, hey, if an app has a rating greater than X and installs greater than Y, auto approve and make it available to my clients. If we, let's say, provided that feature, would you use that and kind of trust it to make apps and widgets available to your clients automatically?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be a case by case basis. I mean you're not gonna want to have auto approvals. There needs to be some sort of stopgap. I could see categorizing them, filtering them out, and saying, hey, these ones have a ton of I mean, kind of like WordPress. It's like this plugin has like 14 million installs, and like this is the average rating. Here's how many reviewers. I mean, that I could see being useful, because then you can at least see like, okay, based on these parameters, it's a quality app. It's widely used, and so it's probably fairly safe. But to his point, supporting like it being great and supporting it are two different things. So just because it's amazing doesn't mean that they may want to offer it or not.
And guys, I think there's like, and I'm sure you've heard this, but I know the way I look at this versus somebody, and I don't think he's on the call, but maybe like the way Charles looks at this. Charles just, sells straight SaaS, and he's got all kinds of different users, where I kind of focus on, people in the home services space or professional services space. So I don't need, my guy who has paintless dent repair. I mean, not that he would, but deciding, hey, I want this snapshot. And I'm like, what's it do? And then, I have custom values, and I have tags, and I have triggers. And then all of a sudden this snapshot's firing stuff off. I'm like, whoa. Or I don't know how to, what the purpose of the snapshot is. So that's why I lock this stuff down. I think part of it is the way I use it versus the way maybe somebody who's just completely reselling the platform and wants to open it all up. There's that. I'm just throwing out, there's different viewpoints of how we're reselling the platform.
Totally valid point. And I mean, I think in that case, locking it down makes a lot of sense. And then maybe periodically you can review certain things, and maybe, there's a way to integrate, but control is the number one thing here. So.
Right. So if, let's say, we do a thorough vetting, and then we say that, this is go high level vetted, right? In that case, would you be open to kind of allowing it? Because at the end of the day, our objective is to make things accessible, right? We are bringing in developers, we're bringing in the apps, and we want you to use it. So what would it take?
I mean, I'll be honest, for me, for now, it would be like a case by case basis. I would have to see what this app does. And like, if I thought this app would be like, hey, all my customers, this is going to do X, Y, and Z. And like, here's your ROI on the app. Yeah. But in that same breath, I don't know if I'm going to have time to sit there, because there's just a ton of apps. I mean, yeah, I'm just afraid to experiment and cause a problem where it's like, like if I know it was proven, yeah, but I don't know how you get to that point. You guys are going to have to figure that part out.
Yeah, hey, Karthik and Dan, maybe a possible solution is being able to kind of subscribe to certain developers who are posting apps. So if you like a specific developer, you can say, hey, I'm going to follow this person's activity. I want to get emails when they post a new app, emails from their kind of support team or whatever they're doing with the app, if they're updating it, so that hey, I'm not just following all the new app updates, any app that gets published. I like this developer. I know that they're producing good work. They're creating new apps, good apps. And that might solve some of those issues that Dan's facing, where he doesn't have time to go through all of the apps. So he wants to focus on the ones that he can trust, that he knows would be created with good quality and good support.
As far as following the developer, the biggest thing for me is, if I need help figuring out something in this app, or if something down the road in this app, due to an update or something, how do I get the developer to do what he needs to do and fix it? So if he builds cool stuff, isn't good enough. If something goes wonky with it, I need to know, hey, and it's going to get solved pretty quick. That's the thing, because you guys know, none of us want to be.
That's going to be a hard. That's going to be a hard thing to
stuff.
manage. That's going to be a hard thing to manage at scale, but
yeah.
I think we'll slowly kind of get there.
I'm sure you will. Somebody, as this goes, it all kind of gets that way.
Yeah.
Could I jump in and ask a question here? Is it possible to make this basically nail it on a per account basis or as part of a plan? Because like Dan, we have a ton of users who really don't have any skills whatsoever within the technical. If they install an app because they think it's going to work, we're going to get a ton of support issues. So we also don't have it enabled. Our coaches our audience, like coaches 50 plus, some of them are 60, 70, 80 years old and use computers for like 3 years. and they try stuff because they think it's going to work. But if I could say like, hey, you have this advanced plan where everything is unlocked, including the marketplace, but here is the one that is the coaching plan where it's not unlocked, that would be tremendous for us. And then we would, there are a number of people we could do that to, let them have that plan.
And you're on, you're talking about SaaS plans, right?
Yeah. So creating a SaaS plan that says marketplace is included and the other SaaS plan, the marketplace is not included.
Got it. That makes sense. But a slight variation of that, what we're doing in Q3 is ability to package SaaS plans with apps. So if you know that, let's say a couple of these apps are a great complementary fit and, make a good kind of package with, let's say, the snapshot that you have, you can package those apps with the snapshot so that whenever, with the SaaS plan, so that whenever a client onboards onto that SaaS plan, these apps come auto installed and it's a even more robust starter kit for them. So
that would be great.
Hey,
Yeah, I mean,
Karthik,
that would be great. So we could say for some plans, here's what you're getting, but also in addition to that, have a plan that is completely unlocked. Because we do have people who want to have a full access to the marketplace.
Yeah, if they package apps with a SaaS plan, but they want to turn off the marketplace discoverability, is that possible as well?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So we did the first one, but the second one, yeah, we look into that.
Cool.
But yeah, great.
Sunday, do you have another question?
Yeah, I think you just asked it, but I just want to get some clarity. I also have apps turned off. So if I have apps turned off, these widgets won't become available to them, right? And I can't let them see the widgets or turn on like there's no way to do that, right? It's all or nothing.
I believe right now
it is, and
Yeah.
essentially that's how we expect agencies would want it to work, because either they want the app marketplace, and essentially all these widgets are part of an app, right? So essentially, if agencies want the users to access the widgets, they would allow the apps, and you have an option to vet and approve specific apps that are good fit, while not allow the others. So that option is already there in the app marketplace for agencies. So you can use that option to make sure you vet them first, and the ones you're happy with, let's say some specific developers, as Andrew mentioned, right? You can then allow the widgets, only specific widgets to your clients, versus giving them all the access. So that's you do have that control in the agency app marketplace portal.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. I suffered being hacked like very severely 9 years ago. I'm over it, but I learned a lot. So I absolutely love this idea. And then as far as like the apps being turned on, would it be similar to like when you have to diagnose what's causing something to flake out? Because it would be integrated into our Go High Level system. And you guys are so cool about fixing stuff. But since it is an outside product, would you just toggle it off? If it created a bigger problem, then how do you go about diagnosing? Who do you turn to for support?
Right. One, you do so. First is identifying what's the problem, right? If something is breaking, how do you know whether it's the app? Just reach out to support, right? A support team, and we'll take a look at that. Second, if you know that, let's say it's some security problem and a specific app is the concern, you can go right ahead and uninstall the app, right? That option is on. So yeah, that's how it's going to work.
Okay. And even after the fact, there was like 2 years ago, my environment's all secure with my say WordPress or whatever, but I do SEO and I found malformed URLs, and the hack had bypassed their security system. So it was a little bit of a struggle in that scenario, because they were like, no, your site's clean. And I'm going, no, it's not. So anyhow, but okay, great. Thanks.
A lot's happened in 9 years on the security front.
Yeah,
not
happened. That happened 2 years ago.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah, and I like what you're saying about my first thing was like when somebody said we'd have to trust whoever, yes. And then like trust marketers with reviews, there's always the conversation of reviews being gated. And then to your point, Ryan, when you said like when you see that there's been like 14,000, like once the installations are way up, then you can really be able to tell like what's really going on with it as far as reputation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I know you guys wouldn't, at least I don't know, but I would say I'm comfortable with knowing that you guys just wouldn't do business with just anybody. So,
There is an approval process. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. What else we got there, Karthik?
Cool. So now we look at a lot of pricing models that we're introducing in Q3, right? The first one is one-time pricing. Considering that we are adding asset-heavy kind of modules into the marketplace, things like snapshots and funnel widgets, one-time becomes a necessity, right? Because snapshot is an irreversible asset. Once an agency pushes a snapshot onto a sub account, you can't reverse it. So many of the snapshot sellers might want to go with the one time as a pricing model. So that's why we are prioritizing one time, and this is going to be live next week and before we release snapshot. So these will come together in a couple gap. The next one is freemium model. So last month we released the free trial, right? Where developers can offer anywhere between 1 to 90 days, typically 14 days of free trial for their app. Another model in which SaaS companies and like developers offer or drive adoption is a freemium model where they give a specific set of features for free while offering the larger feature set for a subscription, right? So we are launching that as well, where you can have a combination of free and paid app plans. In addition to that, today, if you had to go from plan A to plan B, you had to reinstall the app, which is a pretty big gap in the product. And we are addressing that through a change plan feature, where you will be able to head to your installed apps, click on change plan, select a new plan, and then you will see a complete summary of what that change looks like, right? What is the new pricing? If you're an agency, what is the new reselling price? What is your net increase in cost, net increase in profits, and what is the adjustment, right? If you're changing your plan in the middle of a cycle, what is that billing adjustment going to look like that's going to apply from the next billing cycle? So it will give you a complete overview of the entire change in terms of billing. And finally, once you click on finish, the new plan will be up and running right away. So the freemium and change pricing plan will go hand in hand and will be released in September or late September. And finally, usage-based pricing, right? What we are trying to, for the first release, what we want to solve for is allow developers to define the price per execution for marketplace workflow actions and triggers, and per message for the conversation providers. So we'll allow the developers to price it, and the agencies will be able to rebill and mark up while you resell it to your sub accounts. So this is also part of the plan for Q3 and will be released in October. Moving on to some integration items now. Facebook allow multiple pages per account. This is currently dev complete and in QA. But what does this mean? You will be able to connect multiple Facebook and Insta pages per account. You can get messages across pages in one place with very clear attribution where the message came from. You can choose the page while responding, right, to the contact, saying, hey, if I got the message from page A, respond back as page A. If it came from page B, respond back as page B. If you're conversing with the same contact, right, the same contact might have engaged with two separate pages. So you can converse across multiple pages in one single view. Next, very clear attribution in terms of where the lead came from, which page and which page ad did the lead come from. And finally, reputation management. You can view and respond to reviews across multiple pages. within the context of those pages. So this is currently in testing and should be out in the second half of September.
Is there a limit on how many Facebook pages?
Raj, do we have a limit on the number of pages?
So I can answer that, Karthik.
Yes, Naman.
Currently, we are not limiting
Yeah.
on the number of pages, but if there are like more than if the number is in thousands or 10,000s, because we saw that with one of the customers of Google Pages, so that we will have to take care of. But otherwise, currently, if you have like 100 pages, I think we can still accommodate that.
I'm talking like 12 for a client, so we're good.
Thousands, yeah, that's a lot of Facebook pages.
Yeah, I'd probably put a limit in there something. I mean, I can't see a valid use case for having anything more than 15 pages or so. I mean, unless I'm totally off base here, but
No, we have customers who we have more than 50 pages and like
For a
but
single sub account?
yeah,
I
but I
mean,
mean that's
think about if you
get
have
into
like a-
this should not be coming to one sub account. I mean, again, there's probably some edge cases, but I trust the team's already gone through that. So
I have one. So I was actually asked the other day by another agency owner, if High Level can allow multiple Facebook pages, and if so, how many? And I went to go look, and I'm like, well, I'm not really sure on the limit here. How many do you have? And he says, well, I've got like a independent contractor who does marketing for their clients on their Facebook pages, and he has hundreds of clients. And so the guy asking me was like, can we just load all these pages into one sub account? I told him the best practice would probably be to attach a separate Facebook page to to an individual sub account, because the contacts that come in would be impossible to manage hundreds of different clients for. And so anyway, but this is coming out in September, and I mean, I am thinking like I have multiple business pages on Facebook, but not that many. So, but what
You don't have 1,000 business pages?
No, I don't. But I'm trying to think, like when I did ads for people, I probably had about 20 or 30 different pages. So I think if we're gonna put a limit on this, like I don't see anyone using more than 50 different pages, but like, you know, it's got to be a good number, like 20 or 30 maybe.
Yeah, that use case, that does make sense if you're running ads or something and you're having all of the conversations funneled to your agency. But I agree with you. I don't think it'd be easy to manage.
if this is not a technical limit for the dev team, then like it's fine. So I guess we'll just leave it the way it is. I mean, there's no sense in going too much further down there.
Yeah, I think, and from the usability perspective also, if you have like 50 hundreds of pages, to scroll them all down, and because currently we are not providing a search here for your page, so we'll have to think about it if it's a huge number that we are allowing. But yeah,
Command F.
Yeah.
Command F is your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we'll see if we want to put a limit or not, and what we can do there. Yeah.
So currently you're saying there is no limit.
Yep.
No, I
Okay.
think
You might just leave it like that, honestly, and maybe put a search in there, but
Yep.
Yeah, man, I guess if somebody, so AJ just posted in the chat, makes sense if you're like managing influencer pages, you know, and you're managing all the conversations there, that kind of makes sense. I guess if you want to make your life harder and put them all into one sub account, that's kind of your choice. Freedom,
be a
right?
lot-
Freedom of choice.
There'd be a lot of tags.
Yep.
America.
Yep. You should see our sub account. We have a lot of tags. All right. What else we got?
Cool. Custom menu link customization. So with this release, This is also planned for September. One, you can reorder the custom menu links in the left navigation menu. You can restrict the menu links to role based, whether it's accessible to admins or users. You can select specific sub accounts which the links are accessible to. You can also map the custom menu links to specific SaaS plans. And finally, in addition to reordering just the custom menu links, we are also launching the ability to reorder the native menu links. Although there'll be great segments, although the native menu links on top and the custom menu links at the bottom, but you can still reorder amongst them. So this is the overall scope for what's planned for September. The last one, the native menu links reordering will take a little more time, maybe October, but the custom menu links will be out in September.
Beautiful.
Hey, Doug.
Dutch Texan, what's up?
So you're telling me that if I create a SaaS plan where, for example, I integrate Hey Levi, if I don't want a certain SaaS plan to see Hey Levi, I still can have it in the sub account as an agency. I can create whatever I need to create on that, but my client will not see that button.
Yep, you can hide it from that, all the sub accounts of that SaaS plan.
You know how long Ruhin and I were talking about that yesterday? Thank you so much.
Amazing. Dia,
I have a quick question, if that's okay.
just a moment. Let's get Daya, and then we'll get to you.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. So, are you also going to fix that when you hover into the URL, you'll see the full link?
Oh yeah, like here on the UI where it says URL, like if
Yeah.
you hover over it and you can see the entire link instead of just what's cut off.
Yeah.
Got it. I'll make a note of that.
That's a great one, Dea. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Very good.
Hover
AJ,
effects and
what's up?
tooltips.
Sorry, I do normally raise my hand. I should have done that.
It's all good. All good.
With the custom menu links, it would be nice if that also gets rolled out on anybody using branded apps. I don't think it extends to that at the moment with our branded app anyway.
You mean from the app marketplace?
No.
Oh, the branded app.
Yeah.
Mobile app.
Yeah, the Lead Connector app, the branded one. When we're changing some of the menu items, we cannot change it in the app.
Shouldn't it match? Like if you change it on the desktop, shouldn't it match the mobile?
I don't think it matches at the moment. I think the app itself is locked in.
But what I'm saying is, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it should, and we'll take that feedback.
Thank you.
We're gonna go yell at the mobile team. Don't worry.
Cool. One more new integration we're launching in this quarter is Google Lead Ads integration. Very similar to the way you have Facebook Lead Ads. You can link one or more Google ad accounts, link the form on your ad to specific custom fields in your Go High Level account. And then once leads start coming in, the contacts will get created. And also we'll have a corresponding trigger called Google Lead Ad lead generated, which will initiate a workflow and you can do whatever you want. So that is also part of the plan. This might come out in October, sometime in October. Cool. And finally, we have a list of other enhancements. One, we're improving the search in App Marketplace. Today, we only match the app name. We're extending that to almost everything possible, related to an app, and also prioritize, it's going to be a great search experience that we're going to release. Next, flat reselling rate across all apps. Today, you have to set it per app. We're going to allow you to set a flat reselling rate across all the apps. Again, you will be able to customize it per app level also, but at least to start with, define a flat, let's say 10% markup across all the apps. ability to include apps in SaaS plans and auto install on sign up. We discussed that already. Further on the user management, some new features we're coming out with. White label agencies. Yes, Chris.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Karthik. Go ahead and finish, but let me ask my question when you're done.
No worries. Go ahead. Okay, cool. So on user management, there are 3 features we're coming out with. One is white label agencies can customize system emails. And when you say system emails, these are user management related emails. One is the welcome email, password reset, and the verification code. So as an agency, you will be able to customize with whatever template you want, and you'll have access to these custom values while defining your template, so that field is populated when the email is sent out. Second, you can create custom roles. We are calling it permission template, where you can create a combination of permissions and give it a name called sales, marketing, IT, etc., and then apply that template to the user whenever they get created. And then finally, more granular permissions at the agency level. This is, I think from the last call or the one before, where we asked you what are the top agency level permissions that we should be adding. And these are inputs from this specific town hall call only. These are the 5 we're adding to start with: agency dashboard, financials, which is billing, Stripe, etc., phone and email system configuration, SaaS configurator, and login as. We'll be adding these 5 to the granular permissions list at the agency level, so that you as agency owner can decide whether your other agency users can access this or not. Hey, Dia.
Oh wait, that was
Hey.
me. That was me.
Yeah, Chris first.
Okay. So, Karthik, since you are the SaaS man, so I have, I've created a plan where it's only, I'm really only wanting to try to sell the like the client portal and the community groups, but in the SaaS configurator features, the community groups fall under the category of memberships, which also happens to include courses. I don't think I want to include courses. I just want the community groups and the client portal. I was on a meeting earlier this week with I think you pronounce his name Udaya or Uday.
Yep.
Yeah, he is a VP. So
Yeah.
I was sharing some feedback with him that even if I turn off certain SaaS features, okay, and then I go log in as the account admin for that sub account, I am able to still access certain settings in the settings menu that relate to things I have turned off.
Can you give some examples, like the courses?
Yeah,
I will give you one.
We're well aware of this one. This was brought up. That's part of why he's involved, because it's a UX thing. But short answer is super aware of it. We're working on it.
Okay. Yeah, just Karthik, one example would be conversation AI. I have that turned off in reselling for this account. I also have I think there's a feature for conversation AI. Either way, the only 2 things I have selected is memberships and communities. But that is one thing. There's many, but that's one. Conversation AI still shows up in settings, and I can go in and play around with it.
Yep. Totally got it. Dan?
Yeah. So when will you be adding a sent folder for the agency emails?
Sent folder for the agency emails. Okay, I need to take that to the conversations team, I think.
Different team, but yeah, we can write it down. Cool. Dutch?
For the agency emails, right? So everything that's being sent out by the agency side.
Yeah. Get it.
Okay.
We got that. It's just a different team.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yep. Dutch?
When my VA was helping one of my clients to help her with the e-commerce store, you can only switch off payments and then you don't see any payments, but you cannot create products. Are we going to make here with financial billing and Stripe? Are we going to divide, like if somebody helps somebody to create a store and create the products, that you actually have access to that? The same for documents. I can see a use case that people need to create a document, but if you close off payments, then everything is closed off. So will there be a difference between actually finances, billing, that type of stuff, and access to documents, products, and those kind of things?
Yeah, I mean, we're continuing to get more granular in terms of the permissions and the RBAC stuff, role-based access controls. So yeah, that's coming for sure.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have one more question, Dan?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm not sure if this is also yours, but when you go into the staff and then you try to add sub-account access to that person, before you're able to select multiple sub-accounts without the drop-down disappearing. So right now, when you select one sub-account, it disappears. So you have to click it again and then search again and then click again, you know. It was
Yeah.
before multi-select.
Got it. Yeah, good UX feedback. We'll note that down.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's for we'll take care of that. Great feedback. Thank you.
Okay, one more question. Sorry. When we get when we get multiple brands for our SaaS, will we also have the ability to customize the welcome email, password reset, verification code per brand?
For brand, ideally you should, of course, because each brand will have a separate logo. So I think the answer to that is yes, but that's again a different team. So
Okay, yeah, I saw it here with under the user management. So like, yeah. All right, thank you.
Cool.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, just put a question in the chat when multiple brands for SaaS will be available.
Different team, I believe. I don't know when, but it's fairly soon.
I heard it was going to be November. I thought that's
I mean,
when
that's
it...
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to run it down, but it's definitely by the end of the year, as far as I know. So Christmas will come early. Dale.
Every day.
Yeah. Sorry. So many questions. Okay. Just to clarify, with the granular permission, is it also going to will this include the release for the separation of the permissions between agency admins, agency users from admin users? Location admins and location users?
I don't know for sure, so I'm not going to answer, but we can run that down with the SaaS team. I think you got that email.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Q.
No, I didn't get that question, Dia. Can you please say that again? Sorry.
Sorry, because currently, when you set admin users, it kind of just replicate what location users have access to, when they should have, like, in parallel have access to whatever location admin has, something like that. So, you know, because they are on the agency level, they should have access, like, in parallel of location admins. Or if it's going to be what do you call this, better, then we'll be able to select which modules, specific modules and actions, like edit, view, not in the same permission. So if it's like view billing, edit billing, something like that. So because if we're going to say one of my team member is being added as agency user, when they go into a sub account, the admin permissions that should have been also provided to them, they cannot perform. They need to be either agency admin or location admin. But it doesn't make sense because they are also we don't want them have access to the admin side in the agency, but we would like to have them some kind of type of access when they are in the location.
Right. So the way we'll solve that is by adding the granular permissions, right? Yeah. So you as owner will be able to, so once we add these lists, let's say these 5, right, to start with, you'll be able to say, hey, agency admin, you don't have access to the dashboard, billing, phone, SaaS, or login, right? So that's how you can restrict what agency level access the agency admin has, while you give them access to, let's say, location level features. So the answer to your question is, once we build out more and more of these granular permissions, you as agency owner will be able to kind of tailor make the permissions that you want.
Yep,
And
that would be
as
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, essentially, as these permissions become more granular, the concept of user, admin, etc., will become more diluted, because now you have more control in terms of what exactly they can do.
Yep, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet. We got anything else? Missing some recordings. Yep. Alexa, that's on me. It's been a busy week, but I will get those uploaded to the recordings area, and that'll be done today.
Don't say her name so loud because my Alexa's responding.
Oh, I'm sorry. I prank my friends like that all the time when I'm on. I'll ask Siri or the unnamed Amazon robot to do things in their house, and it's pretty fun if you're on speakerphone. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Karthik and the team. Awesome updates that we've got as usual. If you have not gotten your summit tickets yet, it is now time to light up summit.highlevel.com, and you can check out all the amazing things that are going to be happening there. We've got posts all over social with some highlight videos so you can get pumped up. Looking forward to seeing a lot of you guys there, and we'll continue the conversation. So have a great weekend. Just as a reminder, we are going into a pause period for town halls, which is very sad to me and a relief at the same time. But until Summit, this is kind of our last sign off. We're going to be going a little bit radio silent. There's still going to be updates going out and so forth, but we're going to be holding back all the juicy stuff for the Summit. We're going into full Steve Jobs Apple mode. So
That's awesome.
sorry that I won't see you guys more often, but pop in within the community channel there, tag me, and we can carry on conversations if you got questions.
Hey Ryan, are you doing Release Radar today?
I am. After I get off this call, see what the airport Wi-Fi has to offer us.
Well, thanks for
All right.
all your hard work.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Take care. Have a
Thank
great weekend.
you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.